So it's let's see what time is it? It's 3:08 a.m. Right? 3:08 a.m. And let me say this real quick. You know, I didn't say anything in a couple. I ain't saying anything in a couple of hours. If you check out my community tab, I was on a show. Um, I was on a live stream, right? And we was talking about Brickgate, and she said she called the Houston Police Department trying to find out about the incomplete police report, and I said something in the on the panel. Hold on, let me see what her name is again. See, and I'm embarrassed. Celebrity, celebrity, um, celebrity podcast channel. That's her name, right? And I was on there, and we was talking about and and uh, the Houston thing, the brick, right? So sitting there having a conversation, and I harken back, I harken back to um, the last time something like this has happened, right? Um, and it kind of reminds me of a TV show that overstays its welcome. See, Black YouTube is like a TV show that went on to another season when the show should have ended long time ago. I don't know if you ever watched a TV show like I'm gonna use a TV show that the TV show called The Flash, right? That show should have ended at season 4 instead of at season 10. You know what I'm saying? So the show went on for 10 seasons when it should have ended at season 4. Or shows like I don't know, you know, shows that had jumped the shark, right? TV shows that has jumped the shark and everything else. When you jump the shark, it's time to pull the plug. And I think it's high time that the plug needs to be pulled on various channels and various groups online. I think, and that's why I said, listen, if y'all so mad at Jay Morrison, if you're upset at Boyce Watkins, if you're upset, I think if you, yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired, man. But anyway, I'm having my eyes is closed and I'm just, about the day go off to sleep. But my thing is um, when it comes to Boyce and Jay Morrison and Umar and Tyreek and so forth, right? I think it's time for people. If you are so upset of the grifting and the scamming that goes on, I hope like that what happened to the brick woman will serve as a catalyst for a lot of you guys and a lot of you women to get those folks in their life. I'm not talking about cooking, roasting said individuals. Oh, no, no, no. I'm talking about you put the Federal Trade Commission on them. You know what I'm saying? Put that Federal Trade Commission on them, and let the chips fall where they're made. Because like, listen, y'all can't go every 2 years, year in and year out. Every election cycle is always, oh, I'm doing something for my people. We black. We gotta do something for our people. Woo, 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 woo. But y'all have these endless conversations about, I'm a black man, she won't let me leave. I'm a black man, she won't submit to me. I think it's high time y'all need to call the Federal Trade Commission and start pulling the plug on some of these channels, some of these some of these grifters, some of these charlatans that you see on YouTube. And then I'm gonna say something too. I watched a woman from Great Britain. She tried her best trying to project, and I got a problem with her anyway. I got a problem with this woman out of the UK because she said something. She tried to use the Amber Heard somehow. Well, I'm defending Amber Heard. Really? Because Amber Heard is still a victim. Okay, well, what about dude? What about when Amber Heard took a squat on the bed? What about Amber Heard putting her hands on her mother and her sister? What about the domestic violence within her own family, not just with Johnny Depp? Everybody don't want to talk about the truth. Nobody in here don't want to be honest. You know, right? See, Freddie. I'm glad you brought that up because that April Mason thing, right? That April Mason thing, because you know, everybody got accused out of that. Oh, black man did this to a black woman. In terms of find out, it didn't even happen like that. To turn to find out it didn't happen like that. And all these divestors and these pink pill and the BWE, they're all up in arms for months. And like when the proof comes out, they still trying to pimp out the lie. And no, don't come to me with the whole you red pill. This is not about being red pill. This is about the truth and only the truth. So you can miss me on that because and frankly, I want the manosphere gone too. So let's not even bring that up. All right, because I know somebody going to you Big J man, you red pill man, you red pill sit your simp ass down somewhere, man. Nobody want to hear that right now. We talking about the truth. We talking about how people try to use social media. Let me say this right now. You know how people come on YouTube and they talk about white supremacy. Oh, the vestige of white supremacy. Yada 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 yada. Right? And I'm like, well, when y'all come on YouTube and y'all lie and y'all group other people in and then y'all do X, Y, and Z with propaganda purposes, therefore you're doing white supremacy tactics. You'll make that make sense. So don't come to me talking about the white man and Becky and Brad. I don't want to hear that. Really don't. I don't got time to hear that, man. Y'all just y'all bored me to tears. I'm telling you. Can y'all find something new to say? Well, calling somebody a bandit. Oh, you're a bandit. And one thing though that still draws my ire is that whole issue when a certain someone who overly used that word bandit will not sit there and come to terms of his being implicit in trying to frame somebody to have legal ch- to be prop on criminal charges uh, of homosexuality. You know, I'm tired, y'all. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right. Right. What's going on, Pac? You know. I gotta say this, man. Since I see Pac on here, right? Zach Passe on here, right? Like that whole Roy Chess thing, man. I just like, you know, I'm like MOT, man. Some niggas shouldn't be breathing, man. Niggas just come on here. Like I remember that one time, the old dude come on here and went after Sac Passe. Sac Passe said, "I'm from Haiti. My heritage is Haitian." This nigga, Roy Chat's gonna turn right back around, talking, "Oh man, where's your accent then?" I'm like, dude, do you understand what accents are? Do you know how accent works? If you got a Haitian American or a France American or a Japanese American or a Chinese American, those people's accent change within a 20-year period. First, especially for somebody who's first or second generation. I get tired of niggas who don't read, who just jump on panels just to say any old stupid thing, and then they get mad when you try to correct these Negroes. I'm like this. This is why I agree with MOT. Listen, stop coming on panels. Why should we discuss on anything? We got nothing else to talk about. Because one thing though, it's not like it's not like some classical disagreement on, okay, what's the best tax policy, or what are you pro life or pro choice? Some in an intellectual way. No, 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 no. Y'all just do the whole classic. Oh, I did my research, aka I watched a YouTube video. That's the research. Somebody on YouTube. And I'm getting tired of people coming to me talking about Google it, Google it, Google it. That's no debate point. You couldn't name what you name. You couldn't name where you get your resource from. Like me, right? Like how you hear people always talk about, you know, um, Trump under Trump, black unemployment fell under Trump. That's a lie. Then when I said, okay, y'all, why don't y'all go to michaeltrends.net, go to the U.S. Department of Labor, the United States Department of Commerce. Look at all three of those sites, those two public sites and one private site. They give you that's not the case because it fall to the lowest point in between October and November 2016, months away from Trump taking office. Can y'all please stop the cap? See, I can name the websites or or the reports where it came from. I may not have the links of the website, but I do know where the sources of said site come from. The site from these studies come from. You know, a lot of people are not even equipped to do that, and then they get mad, and then they call themselves trying to roast. No, nigga, you need to sit down, and be quiet. You don't know what you're talking about. You're not intellectual. You're not even sophisticated to have an argument or a debate. Just sit down and be quiet, man. I'm just saying. Right. I was because because if it's like it's for him. And then though he used the whole, he tried to use French speaking people in New York, right? In New York City versus French speaking people in Florida. And then I try to tell then I try to tell them, well, listen, it's called population dense. If the population is so dense, right? If you got a group of Haitians or a group of Mexicans living on top of one another, or being closed in together in one community, their accent is not going to change as much because they're in a closed community where it's tight, where they living on top of one another. If you go to Florida, of course the accent is going to change because those people are mostly spread out. But you try to tell that to Roy Chess, my God, Roy Chess can't grasp the concept. All you got to do is look up. I know I'm gonna sound hypocritical here. I'm gonna sound hypocritical with this one, but there's been many university articles, especially those in the English language, uh, articles about the British, American, Canadian, Australian accent. How did the accent change? All right, that's all you have to do. You have to follow accents. Yeah, some people can't grasp that concept if it you had glue handle. Yeah, right, right. Exactly. You can't do a book report and tell the teacher to look it up. You know, that's why that's like when what's his name came over here that one time. I boot him off the channel. I boot him off the panel. You don't know what you're talking about. You know. Well, what time is it? Because I'm about to leave her in a minute. Let me see. Yeah, I'm gonna leave her in a couple minutes. But yeah, I mean, come on, just stop coming to me with them boring ass arguments, man. I heard it for the past 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years, hearing the same old argument, and guess what? It didn't make sense then. It doesn't make sense now. Why you keep on repeating that stuff, man? Oh, Democrat-led cities. Okay, yeah, but have you been to Miami, Fort Worth, Fresno, California, Tulsa, Oklahoma, or Oklahoma City? Because those cities are Republican-led cities, and they just as amount of crime as they are, as everywhere else. Can y'all please stop the cap? Can y'all please stop the cap? The problem with big cities is in its taxation and everything else is not about, it's mainly about the pensions. Okay, the reason why we have a high taxes and so forth is because of the pension program. If you sit there, how much time I got left? If you go to, like, I'm gonna use New York and Philly, right? New York and Philly, right? Prime examples. New York and Philly have a civil service has a huge service, right? Where a whole bunch of people who are employed by the city, you know, a huge mass of people who are bus drivers, police, fire, ambulance, EMS, sanitation, and transportation, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Well, if you think about it, the reason why America is having a problem now is this one issue: your pensions. Well, if you are a worker in those cities, I'm using those two cities as an example, but like how New York City was bailed out, was not bailed out in 1975, right? When like the governor of New York and the mayor of New York went to the White House in 1975 and told and asked President Ford, "Can like you bail out the city of New York?" And President Ford said no. Why? Because of the pension program. If you create, see, the thing is, you got a pension, and the worker got two things going on for him: good, high paying ass job, a job that pays, and you got a pension, and you unionize at the same time. Well, I'm like, listen, you got a pension and you unionize. That's what happened to Philly a few years ago. That happened to New York. That's what's going on in California. That's why California got them high taxes, because you unionize and you got a high pension. But you know what? I'm gonna talk about that later, man. I'm gonna talk about that later. That's something that needs to be talked about. You know, nobody really don't want to talk about the real things. People want to talk about, you know, you know, all that little small-minded crap that you know. But I think people need to talk about that, because that's really the problem when in these large major cities, especially them cities in the north. You know, because you don't see that down here in the South, because we in the South we are not unionized. You know, we don't have no big union down here. We're right to work state, and yeah. You know what? Let me get off of here, man. I'm tired, man. I'm sleepy. I want to go to bed, but I gotta stay up for a couple hours. Like, share, subscribe. I'm out.